Welcome back to the channel. Colin here. Today we're looking at something I was genuinely excited about as a Mac Mini user, the SMSL DAC Mini. A DAC designed specifically to sit under your Mac Mini. Which sounds like a perfect idea, but after using it, there are some pretty serious issues you need to know before buying it. Inside the box, you get the usual stuff. Warranty card, user manual, and the DAC Mini itself. There's also a very short USB-C cable, designed for stacking directly with the Mac Mini, which is a nice touch. Taking a closer look, the design is spot on. The silver anodized finish matches the Mac Mini almost perfectly, so visually it integrates really well. Inside, it uses an ESS9039 Q2M DAC chip, and surprisingly, there's even a low dropout linear power supply built in. Pretty impressive considering how thin this unit is. Now my favorite feature, this orange button. Press it, and a lever pops up at the back to physically press the Mac Mini's power button. If your Mac Mini sits under a monitor like mine, this is a huge quality of life upgrade. You no longer have to reach under the screen just to turn your Mac on. The DAC itself uses a touch power button here, with ambient light on top to indicate status. On the front, you get both a 3.5mm and 4.4mm headphone output. By looking at the specs, there's an interesting limitation. It delivers less current at 60 ohms than at 32 ohms. That means low impedance planners might struggle here. IEMs and higher impedance dynamic headphones should be fine. Since it's powered by a 2A USB connection, you don't need an external power supply, but that also means it is limited in power output. On the back, you get RCA outputs, a combo coaxial or optical output, and even a USB expansion port. Sound-wise, this is very typical ESS, clean, detailed, slightly bright in the treble. Compared to the Mac Mini's built-in headphone output, the Mac Mini gives you better detail and a wider soundstage. The Mac Mini, on the other hand, actually sounds fuller and warmer in the mid-range, and has less detail. Power output-wise, the headphone port of the Mac Mini is actually more powerful and can drive headphones to louder volumes. That's because modern Macs have an adaptive headphone amp built in. So in terms of raw power, the DAC Mini falls behind. Where it wins is format support and sound quality. The Mac's headphone jack is limited to 24-bit 96 kHz, while the DAC Mini supports up to 32-bit 768 kHz and DSD256. The RCA outputs also work simultaneously with headphone outputs, so you can't really mute the RCAs when using headphones if they are connected to speakers. Now after we talk about the sound, this is where things get problematic. First, it's Wi-Fi interference. The Mac Mini's antenna sits at the bottom, and when you stack the DAC Mini underneath, you get constant noise through both the headphone output and RCA when using Wi-Fi. You hear buzzing whenever there's network activity. It also noticeably reduces your Wi-Fi speed. I ran multiple internet speed tests to confirm this. Honestly, this alone makes it unusable for a lot of people, unless you switch to Ethernet. Second, firmware issues. When I first got this unit, I couldn't control the volume from Mac OS. It was stuck at full output, completely unusable. SMSL eventually fixed it, but the update took nearly 2 months and required a Windows PC to install. So if you're buying one, make sure it comes with updated firmware. I've confirmed with Aoshida Audio that they will ship their units with the latest firmware. Third, a minor issue. The unit can slip slightly when stacked. The top of the DAC Mini is smooth and it doesn't grip onto the Mac. Easy fix with some blue tack, but still worth mentioning. In summary, I really like the idea behind the DAC Mini. It adds proper outputs and DAC functionality to the Mac Mini in a clean integrated form. It's super useful if you want to connect to active speakers or an external headphone amp. But the Wi-Fi interference is a serious design flaw, so I can only recommend this if you're using a wired Ethernet connection. Otherwise, you're better off with another DAC. Great concept, but unfortunately, the execution just isn't fully there. So that's it for the video. Let me know if you have any questions about the DAC Mini, and I hope you found this video useful.